Hey, it's Pete. Welcome back. Doing something just a little bit different today. Heading to Lebanon, Pennsylvania for the 24th annual Cabin Fever Expo. It's a model engineering show and auctions, and this is the first morning of the show, which means that it's auction day and it is setup day for the vendors and exhibitors. Now, this show was formerly held at the York Fairgrounds in York, Pennsylvania. And when it was there, I attended it fairly frequently, but I haven't been to it since it's moved to Lebanon. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to find as far as the layout of the show goes. They must have had several tons of small gasoline engines up for auction this year. The auction was divided up into several different areas, from the small gas engines to antique toys, woodworking tools, railroad memorabilia, and then a section of metalworking equipment. Now, the Cabin Fever Expo is where I picked up the dynamite mill about 5 or 6 years ago that I've been converting to the Centroid Acorn. The metalworking tools part of the auction is what caught most of my attention. Unfortunately, I had to leave before they actually got to that part. This Pratt Whitney horizontal milling machine, it really caught my attention. I kept going back to it. They actually had two of them, both with collet sets and vertical attachment. Really would have liked to have taken one of these homes. Unfortunately, I had to leave before the auction made it back to this section. I really regret that. There's also a consignment area at the expo. You just show up with your item and pick the price. They will stick a tag on it for you and try to sell it on your behalf. As I mentioned at the beginning, this was the first day, so folks were still setting up. Not everybody was in place, but by my count, there were at least 3 exhibit halls of models, everything from steam engines to gas engines to trains, anything in between.
They don't do anything to drive. And until a customer let them drive up.
There was also a large section of RC-controlled vehicles, boats, and construction equipment, trucks, and things of that nature. This is a pretty large show. From what I can tell, it fills the entire expo center here. And as it was Friday, some of the vendors were still setting up. I didn't get to see all of them, but there were a few in place. Well, that's been just a quick walk around the Cabin Fever Expo for 2020. Like I said, something just a little bit different from me, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I will catch you next week.